Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Phantoms. I just want to give a quick recap of my locals today. I took DDD to locals for the first time. This is the first time I've ever played this deck in a tournament. I've been doing test hands with this thing kind of just for fun for a couple weeks now. So pretty much just learning the combos. This deck profile is not going to be much different than what you see in like the actual DDD player's profile, specifically Jacked YGO. You should check him out if you haven't seen him before. He'll give you a good rundown and pretty much a combo guide for every build he has. So he's pretty awesome for learning this deck, so I recommend going to check him out. But I'm pretty much going to just show you the deck list I played. I took a little bit of a different approach from what he plays and what like you might have seen Pack's list from like 2 months ago, or the list from the latest YCS. I wanted to take a little bit different just because I'm new at the deck. So I kind of just cut down on a few of the like fancier parts and pretty much just ran as standard as I could get it, just so I didn't overcomplicate things for myself in my first run. So I'm going to get into this profile, and then I'll talk about a few of the cues that I've been using to learn this deck and to figure out what to do and when in these combos. You can memorize the combos, that's fine, but then when you get into the game and it's on the line, you have to figure out what to do. So I pretty much figured out kind of pretty much a guide of what scales to place with Gilgamesh based on whether or not you have Griffin and what you have in your hand and that kind of stuff. So I'll talk about that after the profile, but first I just want to show off a few things that I got in trades / bought today. I got a Ghost Dark Arm Dragon and a Ghost Red Dragon Archfiend. Shout out to my friends Noah and Nick for hooking me up with these. And then I also got a Dark Dragonite, which is pretty sweet, from, I forget, Neo Genesis maybe. Yeah, one of those. And then I got some Therion stuff and a Platinum gadget so I could play Earth Machines soon. So I got Platinum, I got a Gyro System, 2 Disc Coliseums, so I already had one, so that completed my playset. So yeah, now that I've shown you guys those things, let me just go ahead and get into the deck profile and then we'll talk about it. We'll start with the main deck. This is going to be pretty standard. All you're going to notice is that I cut some things from the standard list and just added some hand traps. So I'll go through this pretty quickly. 3 Griffin, this is the heart and soul of your deck. You need to resolve his effects, all of his effects in order to combo, so you need to play 3. 100% deck revolves around Griffin, and what you place in your scales, I've learned, is based on whether or not you have Griffin and what other stuff you have to work with. So yeah, 3 Copernicus. Foolish is a DD monster, usually Necro Slime or DD Lamia if you need to start comboing. 3 Kepler and 3 Swirl Slime, all standard 3-ofs. Not much discussion there. Next, 2 Orthros. Got to play 2 of this guy. He overperformed today. I was able to pop Mystic Mine. I played against some Pendulum decks. I was able to like clear their scales. I would pop 1 with Orthros, add it back with Thomas, pop it again. It was pretty insane. So I've been loving Orthros. In a very simplified deck, I might even bump it to 3, but 2 is just fine. And then I just played Ragnarok and Thomas. So those are all the Pendulum cards. Thomas is super good. I keep learning how good this card is. It comes up all the time, adding back a card from your extra deck. So you can reuse it as a scale, so you can reuse Orthros, stuff like that. So it's pretty great. And then this is where I deviate a little bit. I just played 1 Necroslime, 1 Lamia. I cut Vice Typhon. And to be honest, the reason is that if you're getting interrupted, you're only going to be fusion summoning once, or you're only going to be able to dump 1 thing. So Copernicus can dump, and then the rank 5 can dump when he goes to grave. And those are the 2 ways you're going to dump your Necro and Typhon. And pretty much you're probably only gonna get 1 of those off, and if you can get both of those off, you probably have full combo anyway, and it's kind of just overkill. So I decided just to simplify my list, cut down on the quote-unquote bricks. Drawing Vice Typhon is not great, so I just decided to cut it and just leave it at this. So this is my DDD lineup. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 18 DDD monsters. So yeah, that's where we are with that. So I'll scoop these up. Alright, on to the hand traps. I played an absolute crap load of hand traps. So I played 3 Ash, 3 Nib, Nib didn't really come up for me today, but it's kind of like I was already winning enough, to be honest. I played against like Pendulum Magicians and stuff, and I kept drawing Nib, but they were usually stopped by just one of the other hand traps, like Ash or Gamma or something. I did play Gamma and Driver. I think these cards are insane, and also there's a lot of Floowandereeze at my locals, so I wanted to play these because it pretty much blows Floowandereeze out of the water, since they can't just dodge Gamma with the quick play spell or Book of Moon and stuff like that. They still lose the effect. I played 2 DD Crow just for the, sorry about the lighting here, just for the Despia matchup, but I never played against Despia, so never really came up. And then I played 3 Imperms, so that's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 hand traps plus a driver. So I pretty much cut out the Vice Typhon and then one other card, as you'll see, to bump up to 14 hand traps for this deck. Because pretty much what I was thinking is, if they build a board against me, it's really hard for this deck to break boards because there's no effect negation in here besides like Imperm. So you pretty much need to stop them from making a board at all costs. So I pretty much wanted to maximize on the hand traps. You could either go that route or you could play like droplets and board breakers, lightning storms, whatever, but I decided to go the hand trap route. It's just more reliable, and if you win the die roll and go first, well, hand traps are still great, so that's why. And then the last few cards are just spells. 3 Contract with the Gate, 1 Swamp King. I just played 1 Piri map. I cut this down just because opening a starter is pretty reliable. Already with your 9 starters, you got 3 Contract, 3 Cope, 3 Kepler, and then 1 Piri. I thought 10 was going to be fine, and I didn't really want to auto lose to Despia, but again, there was not much Despia, so yeah. Oh, and I guess 1 for 1 is another starter, so I played 11. I played 1 Called By and 1 Headhunt, and that's it. So I decided not to play Patent License, just, again, for the same reason I didn't play Vice Typhon. I think it's a little overkill, or like win more. You know, if you can establish Patent License, you're already probably winning. So I decided to just cut that card in favor of another hand trap. I thought having like DD Crow would be better than having a Patent License, for example. So yeah, that's why I decided to go with that. So that's the full deck list. I believe that's 40, or I kept it as close to 40 as I could. All right, onto the extra deck. I played, it's pretty much standard. It's the same as Jack's extra deck, pretty much. So I played 3 Gilg, Wave King Caesar, Tell, and then High King Caesar, 2 Machinex, and then the fusions, 2 Genghis, 1 High Genghis, 1 Oracle, 1 Siegfried, 1 Baron, and 1 Zeus. So I never made this. The entire day. So out of 5 games, I went 3-2, by the way. I lost to Floowandereeze, and I lost to Evil Twin, and then I beat Libromancer Brave. I beat and then 2 Pendulum Magician decks, or Odd-Eyes or something like that. So you know, it wasn't all meta, but that's how I did. But yeah, I never made these the entire day. I don't think I even could have. Well, obviously I didn't play Vice Typhon, so maybe playing these is probably not that great anyway. But I would consider cutting these. I want to play that new Psychic level 11 Synchro out of Dimension Force, Psychic and whatever. I would play that, or I might play, I don't know, maybe even like Hulk and Access Code for like follow-up plays or something. But yeah, I'll think about it, or I'll just keep these in. But anyway, yeah, so that's how that went. And onto the side. So I'll tell you straight up, I made some last minute changes. So this is the side deck I had, but this is not, you know, the optimal side deck, obviously. So I had 3 Lancia, 3 Droll, 2 Valor. So I just wanted to put in whatever hand traps were best against whatever I was playing against. Obviously very heavily sided against Floowandereeze. 1 Cyclone, 1 Duster. I had 2 slots left at the time, so I just played these. 3D Barrier, and then the last 2 cards is like my 3rd Piri map in Vice Typhon. So at the last second, I decided to cut these 2 in favor of the 2 DD Crows. So yeah, that's why they were stuck in my side. Obviously, do not play these in your side deck. Establish a better deck list beforehand. but that's just what I had to deal with. So yeah, that's how the games went. Pretty much, it was a lot of fun. First time I ever really played a full combo deck at my locals. I usually play Sky Striker or Muskets or whatever, but yeah. So I pretty much want to talk about now what I've learned about what to place in your scales with Gilgamesh based on whether or not you have Griffin. So if you open Griffin in your combo, you've probably, or in your main hand, opening hand, you've probably summoned Griffin to make Gilg. So if you do that, then your scales are almost always going to be Ragnarok and Orthros. And this is your full combo maximum ceiling scales right here, okay? Now, if you did not open Griffin, there are kind of like two more lines of play. So if you did not open Griffin, you probably made Gilgamesh using Copernicus sending Lamia. That's pretty much the other way. Because if you had Gate, you probably would have searched Griffin. And if you had Kepler, you probably would have searched Gate to get Griffin. So this is the other way to make Gilgamesh, is pretty much Cope and Lamia. So pretty much you need access to Griffin ASAP to be able to full combo. So one of your scales is usually going to be Griffin. So there are two scenarios here. One is if you have Thomas in your hand, and one is if you don't. If you do not, you scale Griffin and Thomas. Okay, then you pen summon, you bring out your Copernicus, you just pen summon one. Then you Griffin, he can pop itself to give yourself attack, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, you just need to destroy it to get it in the extra deck. And then you use Thomas to add it back, and then you special summon Griffin. And that's how you get Griffin into your cycles, so that you can like start overlaying and bring it back from the graveyard and search and all that kind of stuff. If you have Thomas in your hand, you can't scale it with Gilgamesh, obviously. So you have two options. You can either scale Griffin and Orthros, and then pop both. You can use Orthros to pop both, and then they go to graveyard, and then you scale the Thomas, add back the Orthros, scale it, and now you can pen summon the Griffin from the extra deck. Or you can just Orthros pop the Griffin and an opponent's card, and then kind of do just straight up scale Thomas, and then add back Griffin, same way. So yeah, that's how you always have to get Griffin into your hand, or onto the field. You need to get Griffin going. So if you don't draw it or search it, you have to scale it with Gilgamesh, pop it, and add it back with Thomas. And that's pretty much the essential guidelines to what to scale with Gilgamesh, is whatever you need to get Griffin going. And if you, like I said, if you already have Griffin going, then you just scale Ragnarok and Orthros, and then that's full combo, because Ragnarok is an extra special summon somewhere in your combo. So if you can afford to do that, that's what you want to do. Obviously that covers like 95% of the situations. There's another like 5% where you can get stuff going in other ways. You can scale Copernicus if you need to, and pop it and pendulum summon that if you need to fool or something. But that's kind of the situation. So that's pretty much what I've learned. I have a ton to learn with this deck. I'm probably not playing to its max potential, because all the best DDD players in the game are playing stuff like Patent License and Vice Typhon and stuff. I never did go Baron combo today either. I think I only had the opportunity once, and I just didn't see it for some reason. But otherwise, I just didn't have a chance to do that, I don't think. So yeah, if you don't know the Baron combo, definitely watch Jacked YGO's videos on how to do that, along with every other combo. I'm not going to go into detail here because he does it way better than I do. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like these vlog type videos, subscribe for more of them. Leave a like, leave a comment, whatever. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you later.